Hello, and welcome everyone. Today's video features a preview guide of the currently work in progress Hildebrand. Now this is the brand new Tier 10 German hybrid cruiser. Now there has been a lot of requests from the German community recently, well for years now basically, to request another German cruiser in the game, but I'm not 100% sure this is exactly what they were looking for.
You don't need to see his identification.
We don't need to see his identification.
These aren't the droids you're looking for.
These aren't the droids we're looking for.
He can go about his business.
You can go about your business.
Move along.
Move along. Move along.
So another hybrid cruiser in the game, and to be fair, some of these hybrids, they're not the prettiest ships in the game. Not even remotely close.
No. Look away, I'm hideous.
So this is the Hildebrand that is currently on the PTS server and in testing at the moment. So I can't show you some gameplay yet, as the ship is still covered by NDA of course, but we can look at the ship's complete stats. We will start this by having a look at the armor layout. You can see 27mm bow plating, fore-end deck, upper and lower, all 27. The main deck comes in multiple levels to the flight deck, of course, 30mm, here 50mm, 30mm, and the flight deck itself is 30mm, but a large section here of 19mm. This auxiliary room, all lightly armored 19mm. Aft-end deck 27, both lower and upper. Casemate here is 30mm. This section is 90mm. This is not actually that bad. And the main belt armor is 190mm. If we look at the actual citadel, we can see there is an element of sloped internal plating off, and look at the citadel itself. It is ever so slightly above the waterline, running from the front turrets. I was hoping for a smaller citadel here initially, considering the front turrets here are located at the front, but the citadel is really quite large, running from literally where the fore-end or the aft-end plating starts to under the front turret. So this is the armor that ties in directly to the survivability. 68,150 hit points with a torpedo protection damage reduction of 37%. Now this is augmented by having the repair party. You get 4 charges with this build. Just quickly put in my Lutyens captain, so I am running with superintendent. You get 4 charges with this build. Nothing really here out of the ordinary. I have boosted the plane HP as you get 2 squadrons, which we'll come to in a moment. So consumable wise, you get repair party and hydroacoustic search. So we will start obviously with the aircraft, because this is a hybrid. You get 2 different sets of aircraft. Torpedo bombers here located on the stern. You can see the plane stats. 1805 hit points, that is with the buff from the ship upgrade. They can travel 156 knots. They can be boosted to 199. Now these drop 1 torpedo per aircraft, 3 aircraft per squadron, so a max of 3 torps per drop. Now these torpedoes only do 4,000, just over 4,000 damage, 4,067. Torpedo speed of 52 knots, a range of 2.5 kilometers, quite short range, and an arming distance of almost 500 meters, 489 meters to be precise. So these are the torpedo bomber stats. These are the dive bomber stats. These are high explosive dive bombs. 6 aircraft per squadron. These have a much slower recharge time than the torpedo planes. 6 bombs is your max per drop. They have a max bomb damage of 13,700. They can pen 68 millimeters of armor and have a very, very high fire chance of 80%. You're almost guaranteed to start fires with these dive bombers. Those are the 2 aircraft groups. The aircraft themselves, the torpedo bombers, the BF-110Cs, and the dive bombers are these PA-152C-1 or 14. Moving to the main artillery, 2 main battery guns, 2 triple mounted 305mm guns. They have a 15-second reload, both here mounted on the bow, super firing turrets. 15-second reload. They have a max firing range of 18.5 kilometers. They can rotate 180 degrees in 28.7 seconds, firing high explosive and armor piercing. The high explosive have a max damage of 3600, 29% fire chance, 76 millimeters of penetration, and a shell speed of 865 meters per second. The armor piercing, max damage of 9100 with the exact same shell speed. Hildebrand also gets secondary battery, 8 twin mounted dual purpose 105 millimeters, so 16 of these in total. They have a 3-second reload, a base firing range of 8.7 kilometers, firing high explosive shells. 6% fire chance, 26 millimeters of pen, shell speed of 900 meters per second, and a max damage of 1200. So 4 of these twin mounted turrets on each side. Further augmented by having 8 twin mounted 150mm guns, again 2 on each side, 4 on each side, excuse me, 8 guns on each side, 8 twin mounted 150mm. They have a slower reload of 6.8 seconds, 1700 max damage, high explosive damage, 9% fire chance. They can pen 38 millimeters of armor and have a shell speed of 875 meters per second. That is the main battery, and the secondaries, you get access to the airstrike, depth charge airstrike, 30-second reload, an operational range of 8 kilometers, 2 available flights, each with 1 aircraft, dropping a max of 2 bombs with a damage of 4,900 is your max bomb damage. When it comes to AA defense, Hildebrand gets 10 of these twin mounted 30mm guns, so 20 of these in total, 30mm. Hildebrand gets 6 twin mounted 55mm guns, mounted here on the superstructure. And these are a dual purpose, the secondary battery, the 105s, 8 twin mounted 105s, which are dual purpose. Now, all combined, this pumps out a continuous average damage of 408 7 shell explosions per flak salvo with a hit probability of 90% and a max damage of 1540. Priority sector reinforcement 50%, action time and prep time both 10 seconds, and a max firing range of 5.2 kilometers. When it comes to maneuverability, Hildebrand gets a base speed of 34 knots. This can be improved to 35.7 with the Sierra Mike speed flag. Turning circle radius of 880 meters and a rudder ship time of 14.1 seconds. Now I am using Air Group's Mod 3 at the moment just to test the survivability of the aircraft. This can be reduced to 11.3 with the steering gears mod. So finally, concealment wise, not exactly what you would call stealthy. She is quite a large ship, obviously, having this huge flight deck. Concealment rating of 53, equating to a surface detection range of 12.5 kilometers. You'll be surface detected by enemy subs and aircraft both at 8.4 kilometers. So this, ladies and gentlemen, is the Hildebrand. Not exactly the droid we were looking for, so to speak. So a new hybrid, while we're still awaiting the long-awaited start of the CV and air spotting test to start, which is scheduled for the 29th, we get yet another hybrid entering into the game. This case with a German flavor. Now this is really based on a real project that never came to fruition, the Atlantik Flugzeugkreuzer project. So there you are, another hybrid German cruiser coming in at tier 10. Now I will remind you, this is still in testing, subject to balancing changes throughout the testing process, so keep that in mind. More videos coming tomorrow, starting with the American battleship Tennessee, so make sure to hit that sub button and don't miss out on any future updates. If you'd like to see some live gameplay, feel free to come over and visit me on Twitch. I'm playing there live on a regular basis. I look forward to seeing you all.